And so all you have to do is go to their own website and pick the laptop you want, which is the Raven for my case. Here are the options. You can choose whatever options you want, or you can just pick the Now I'm gonna show you the one I bought. So here it is. It's only 2,700. Is because I didn't buy a RAM and a hard disk. So there it is. Here's what happens. I paid online and I went to their shop to collect the laptop. So here's the box, and here's a free mousepad I received. So the box opens from the top, and in there you can see the laptop covered by foam around it. So now I'm just gonna take out the laptop first. And there it is. And now I'm just gonna remove the cover for it, and the laptop itself is also protected with all the stickers around it. Now further in the box is the power adapter, and that's it. There's no user manual, which is kind of weird because everything you buy has a user manual, but that doesn't matter. So this is the power cable. Everything is inside. Now if you're wondering what this pink bag is actually the slots for the hard disk and the screws and also the stickers. So they didn't stick the stickers on the laptop. You can do that yourself or not, because I do not like stickers on my laptop. It makes it look not clean. So I'm just gonna keep these stickers inside the box and maybe use it somewhere else. This is the slots for the hard disk, and there are the screws for it. Later on I'll show you how it works. So this is the back side of the laptop. There's two fans on both sides, the heatsinks on the middle, and there's a speaker on the back and two at the front. So to remove the panel, there are 4 screws up front. You just have to take those 4 screws out and the whole panel will come off. And most of the stuff that you can change are there, so it's really easy. And just like that, the panel is off. So there's the RAM slot. There's already one inside, which I had to use to test drive the laptop before I take it back home. And here's the next one I'm going to insert. There, the RAM is in. And on the right side, that empty slot will be the hard disk, and this is for the SSD. There are 2 slots where you can put the SSD in, and 1 slot for the hard disk. And here's the cable they provided. And so here's what the hard disk look like with the 2 slots in place. And all you have to do is connect it to the laptop and screw it down. And when you're done, simply just close the cover back in and screw them back. And now I'm going to remove every protective sticker from the laptop. First from the back, and now on the power button. And there's one more at the bottom. And that's it. Simple. So here's a little funny thing: when the laptop is turned on, there's a little R logo that's been projected to whatever surface you're at. And what happens is there's a little light under the laptop. You can actually turn it off if you want to, but I'll just leave it on for a while. So this laptop has its own kind of built-in software. It's called Raven Command Center. So it basically controls the lights, the settings, and most of the settings only on this laptop itself. So you can take a look. I'm not gonna go too deep inside. You can just take a look yourself. It's pretty easy to understand. So here you can change the keyboard lights, you can change the brightness, and the keyboard will respond to it. So this is not the mechanical keyboard, so it's only divided into 4 sections of lights. And here are the fan settings. You can either manually change it or set it to automatic. And the next part is system monitor, which it monitors your temperature and usage. And so here's what the keyboard light looks like when it's turned on. This is in 3/4 brightness, and it's already bright enough that you don't need to put it into full brightness. So now we're moving on to the performance of the laptop. We start by turning it on because of the SSD. So this laptop will take you around 16 seconds to boot. There it is. And now we're in. So here's a really nice feature of this laptop, which is the lid. If you open it with only holding the lid, just like a MacBook, the whole laptop doesn't follow. Unlike some other laptops, for example this Asus, if you open it, the whole laptop will stick to the body, and you're gonna have to use 2 hands to pull them apart. Some laptops have this feature, some laptop just doesn't. Here are some of the bad parts of the laptop. The USB 3.0 slots, there are 2, but they're at the back, which is kind of a weird place to put it because it's really hard to get to if you're using the laptop. The ones on the left and right are only USB 2.0. And here's the next thing about this laptop: when you're playing games or doing whatever, the rear of the laptop can get really hot, and the power cable is either right on the heatsink or blocking some of the cable holes. So that's also a bad mark for the laptop there. And here's a picture of the Raven emblem. If you look close enough, you'll notice that it's very painted on, if you get what I mean. But if you look at it from a normal distance, it's okay, it's not that obvious. Now in terms of performance, it performs just like any other laptops with the same specs, an i5 and a 1050 and 8GB of RAM. It should work well with most productive apps, so there shouldn't be a problem at all. I'll be uploading a gaming performance test as a separate video, so stay tuned for that. So now I'm going to test the battery. So now the battery is at full charge and it's 8:46 AM. I'll be using Photoshop, Google Chrome, and sometimes Spotify for this test. There it is. So I'm gonna keep them on until the battery runs out. I'll be doing some of my work as well, so here's the Wacom tablet, I'm connected to it, and also a wireless mouse. So now it's 10 AM and it's at 43%. And there's also a problem because Windows Update is currently installing stuff. so that should put a dent in the battery. And now it's 10:19 and it's at 27%, so there's still some more to go. And now it's 10:27 and it's stuck to 22%, so I'm gonna stop it right here. So the battery should last you around 3 hours if you're using only normal apps, web browsing or listening to music, or 2 hours if you're using something heavier like Photoshop. So this laptop has 2 speakers on the front and 1 tiny little subwoofer at the bottom. So right now I'm in PUBG's training mode, and take a listen on how the stereo on the laptop speaker would sound like. The reason why I pick training mode is because it's very easy to test the stereo, so all you have to do is turn around, because the gunshots are always around here. So here's it on the right side, and here's it on the left side, and here's it on the back. So here's a copyright-free song to test the speakers of the laptop. It's PUBG's new theme song. I have the volume up to about 70, so 70 is the volume. Now the placement of the front speakers is not as good, because if you're using the keyboard, your hands would cover up the speaker a little bit, and the sound, well, actually there's not much difference, but you can hear the difference a little bit. It sounds a little bit muffled by your hands covering. On this next clip, I'm just gonna stand there and let the music play, and whatever background noise you hear, that's the fan. So it is actually really loud and it can get pretty annoying. So here's another game that is very graphics demanding, and right now you can also hear the fan at its full speed. Well, actually not really full speed because I haven't turned on the turbo fan yet. Guess I'll never have to. But here's what it sounds like. You can still hear the fan that's in the background noise. That's not actually background noise, that's actually the fan. Just gonna put my phone right at the back so you can hear it. And it is really hot back here. A point down for the power cord because you either put it here and block some of the cables or put it here and burn the cable. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So both of these fans are spinning really fast and it's really hot back here. So in this game I'm just going to liberate this small outpost, and what I want you to do is take note of the things I shoot and also the fan noise. So the volume is set to 50, and now I'm going to start shooting people. You'll hear that the fan has just picked up some speed. It's getting even louder now. So that's it for this video. So this is actually quite a decent laptop. It's really cheap, and the only main big problem is the fan noise. But it only happens when you're gaming, so you should be fine if you're watching YouTube or browsing Facebook or doing Photoshop. So what I like about this laptop is that it looks really cool, if you want to think of it like that, and also mainly because it's really cheap. That's the reason why I bought it, and also maybe you might want to buy it too because it's cheap. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.